Hello, everyone, and welcome in. Today, I'm going to take a look at a reading for all of our Cancers out there for the second half of July. We have a lot of things going on in the second half of the month. So on the 17th, we have the North Node going into Aries, and it's going to be in Aries until January 2025. So this is really a pretty big shift that's happening. It's coming out of being in Taurus for the last 18 months and shifting into Aries. So that's going to be a lot of that fiery energy, and it's really kind of that, your North Node, that's what are you supposed to accomplish in this lifetime? Like, where do you need to grow? Where do you need to move out of your comfort zone? And what should you be aspiring to? So that's really what the North Node is about. At the same time, also our South Node is going to be shifting. And the South Node is, what are you still carrying with you from a past life? What are some of these past patterns? And that symbolizes your comfort zone and where your attachments are, and those attachments that are hindering your personal growth. So Aries is going into North Node, so that's going to really be trying to balance out that energy between being, where you're thinking about other people and balancing that with making sure that you're thinking about yourself and not just totally focusing all of your energy on what does everybody else around me want? How do I take care of everybody else? It's kind of a little bit of that selfish, but in a healthy way, that selfish energy of, wait a second, I need to take care of me. And South Node is actually going to be moving into Libra. So Libra is that reminder of harmony and fairness and being mindful of the kind of the tendency that sometimes that fairness ends up tipping the scales towards, I'll call it indecisiveness and people pleasing. But if that's what, if your South Node is talking about what are you still carrying forward, you're still carrying forward some of that people-pleasing energy, and you're really being pushed to shift into more of that authenticity for you. So overcoming your fears and being proactive about that. So in this reading, we're going to take a look at career, love, and your life path and your mission. So we'll start out with career for your past, kind of past, present, and future. So we'll look at our past, present, and future on the career side of things. So that Three of Swords, that's kind of that heartbreak, disillusionment. So, you've maybe had a little bit of a rough spell on the career standpoint, that maybe you thought things were going in a certain direction and they didn't actually go the way that you thought they were going to. Maybe you've kind of become jaded. And so your present energy then is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So you're looking at that's kind of that life plan, and maybe you're feeling like it's a little bit off kilter. And the future, though, is the Hierophant. And so the Hierophant that's that mindful energy, where you're looking at being a teacher. And so in the reverse, this is suggesting a new path. So you're going to be learning more. So rather than being in the position where you are the teacher, you are the guru, the expert, this is starting to go down a different path. And so it's, you were jaded and kind of disillusioned with what was happening before for you from a career perspective. So now, you're kind of letting the Wheel of Fortune play out, and you're starting a new path where now you have new things to learn, new challenges, new opportunities. And that's really going to help you kind of fuel some of that, I guess, creative energy. Sometimes shaking things up and doing something a little bit different can be helpful, and it can kind of infuse some of that new energy. So looking at that from a career perspective, let's take a look at what's going on in your love life. What is in store in the second half of the month for your love life? One of the other things that we have going on later in the month, July 22nd, Venus is retrograde in Leo. So that's that creativity, self-expression. So you kind of need to be turning inward. Like during the retrogrades, those are time periods where you turn inwards and you start to look at what are the choices that you're making, what needs to be healed so that you can stand in your own truth. And with Leo having to do with creativity and self-expression, some of this is, if you're like, as it pertains to the career part, if you're feeling kind of stuck and unenthused and you're going down a new path, how do you choose that new path? Some of that's looking inward. What, from a creativity standpoint, what are some of those things you can do to get those creative juices flowing? So from a relationship standpoint, we have Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Chariot, and then the Nine of Swords in reverse. So with your Page of Pentacles in the past, this is the past. So that's kind of that, I'll call it laziness, lack of direction, maybe some immaturity. So that's a relationship that had kind of gotten stale. Maybe it's one that you've been in for a while, and when the immaturity part comes out, it's just, you've been at it for a while and you maybe haven't really grown the way that you thought you were going to. So in the present with the Chariot, that's that fast moving energy, that forward movement. You're being driven, you're determined, you're wanting to overcome obstacles. And, that it's kind of like you've been sitting in this stagnant energy for so long. And now all of a sudden you're moving, you want to get something done. And with the future and the likely outcome, this Nine of Swords in reverse, that's that hope, that recovery. So it looks like, maybe ending something that hasn't been working or that's leaving you unfulfilled. And then the future for that means that you're going to have hope. You're recovering and you're getting onto a better path that helps you feel more fulfilled and helps kind of fuel your growth. So let's take a look then at your life path and mission. Those. 10 of Cups in reverse, King of Wands, and the Six of Wands. So in the past, then you've had some kind of, I'll call it disharmony. So, the 10 of Cups upright would be, all of that harmony, that happiness. So you've had the opposite of that, kind of some trouble at home, some disharmony. And some of that, if this is on your life path and your mission, this would be that you're not really getting fulfilled. You feel like something is off and some change needs to be made. So with your King of Wands, then that's right now you're kind of meeting that challenge and wanting to take that step forward, kind of that positive movement. How do you change things? How do you get yourself into a better place? So this is a little bit of a warning to be careful about, with this being kind of a leadership card, how do you get yourself into that peaceful place? Because the Six of Wands in reverse is actually, that's a little bit more of like kind of that disappointment and that arrogance. So that's something to be mindful of, is however it is that you're wanting to move along your mission or your life path, be mindful of it and do it in a way where your leadership and your King of Wands energy is inspiring and not off-putting. Because there's kind of that fine balance between having that assertive type of energy of I'm meeting these challenges, I'm going to be a leader, I'm going to step it forwards, and in coming across as arrogant. Or if your path involves other people, making sure that you are getting the agreement, the buy-in taking other people's ideas as well so that they feel like they're really partnering with you on that next step forward, as opposed to you just kind of letting them, I guess, come along for the ride. So the good thing is, though, this King of Wands energy is kind of, all right, let's get something done. Let's meet these challenges. Let's move things forward. So this is your soul journey cards. So actually here we'll put some of those. So we'll put those on your life path mission. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know with that. Freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. And actually, even though I put this down here, you can really kind of piece it wherever that makes sense for you. So some of it is if you're looking at trying to get out of an unfulfilling, unhappy relationship, you do have the freedom to do that. Oftentimes people think that they're stuck when really it's just a matter of how do they look at it differently. So here's your jumper card. Step out of your comfort zone. And I'll pull another one since that one was a jumper card. So sometimes finding that path to happiness is a matter of stepping out of your comfort zone. So it looks like, across the board, some of that was, things in the past that had been happening were a little bit kind of not really very inspiring, not really very fulfilling. And so in order to make those changes, you have to step out of your comfort zone. And this is that North Node card. That's what it says at the very bottom there. And so especially with the North Node switching into Aries on the 17th, that's definitely something, it pushes you out of your comfort zone, but in a good way. So, don't continue to be bound by kind of societal expectations. Really embody that Aries fire energy, which is what's happening there with that King of Wands. And so here's the actual card pull, since that one was a jumper. Another one, you're very close to achieving your goal. So some of that's a matter of needing to step out of that comfort zone. You're almost there. It's going to take a little bit more of a push, and then you will find some of that happiness, that goal. And we'll pull a spirit card for you, Cancer, as well. That one was a jumper, but let's see. Penguin, authentic. Reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations. Just be yourself. So some of that, in terms of kind of gathering your tribe, if you are in a situation where you're looking at changing an unfulfilling relationship, so maybe either the relationship is actually ending or you're just setting different boundaries, expectations, and changing the dynamics within your relationship, that's always a hard thing to do. So make sure that you're reaching out to family and friends for support. And even as you look at changing jobs and careers, that can be very stressful. So make sure that you're reaching out to your tribe. You do want to be standing in your authentic self, which that's a lot of what this Aries energy in North Node is about. So really standing in your authentic self, but reaching out where you need some additional support, so that way you can manage this as best you can. So, and as always with any of the readings, take only what resonates. Some of these situations may not apply to everybody, but hopefully you found this to be helpful as you look at navigating the second half of July. So I'll do another one for the first half of August, and I'll plan on doing these every couple of weeks. So, and as always, I'll be doing my daily card pulls as well. So hope to see you back soon, and blessings along your journey, and we'll talk again soon.